Welcome to the Marketing Millennials, the No BS Marketing Podcast. I'm Daniel Murray, and join me for unfiltered conversations with the brains behind marketing's coolest companies. The one request I tell our guests, stories or it didn't happen. Get ready to turn the up. Welcome to another episode of the Marketing Millennials. Today, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to give you 5 tips I learned from one of the smartest marketers I talked to. And I'm going to do this once a week. I'm going to talk to a smart marketer and give you my takeaways from that conversation with that marketer. Today, we're going to talk about a marketer I talked to, Jasper Martin. He's a CMO of PensionBee, and he shares no BS advice on buying and implementing new tools. His team has nailed the process while marketing something as complicated as pensions. And if he could do it, so can you. So let's break down 5 tips you could steal from Jasper to buy or migrate from a tool that you are currently using. So the first tip I got from Jasper is, before you implement a tool, market the tool internally. This is the first hurdle, is convincing your team or your boss that this new tool is worth it. Jasper's advice: treat it like a campaign, act like a marketer. You're already a marketer. Sell the tool internally. Highlight the ROI. Solve their pain points meaning your internal stakeholders, and show them why they can't live without it. Think about it. You wouldn't sell to a customer without a value prop, right? Do the same for your decision makers internally. Make it so compelling that they want to say yes to this new tool that you want to implement. So if you either trying to migrate from a software that's bad internally or you want to buy a new software, think about how you're going to market it internally, how it's going to solve people's lives, what's the ROI. You have to be an internal marketer for a new tool. The next tip is for when you're trying to pick a new tool. And the tip I got from Jasper is, don't get tricked by the buzzwords. We've all been there. You're in a demo and the salesperson is throwing out words like AI powered, machine learning, next generation. Jasper's advice is, punch through that fluff. Ask yourself, does this tool actually solve my problem? Does it hit the goals I need to hit? Don't just look at the features. Ask, does this actually solve a problem that we're having internally? Get clear on what you need and make sure that tool actually delivers on what you actually need. Tip number 3 is, invest in a single source of truth internally. This one is a game changer. Jasper talked about the power of unifying your data. At PensionBee, they use a centralized database like Snowflake, and their tools plug directly in this. I've done this at multiple companies. Having a single source of truth saves you so much pain and suffering. Don't make your CRM or your marketing automation tool your single source of truth. Get that database as that single source of truth. And why does this matter? Because when your systems talk to each other, your team works faster, smarter, and more efficiently. There's no more siloed data, no more guesswork. If you want to make your new tool truly efficient, it's got to be part of a connected ecosystem. It can't just be operating on its own. Number 4, plan for a smooth migration when you're trying to migrate tools. Here's where things can go sideways: the handoff. Jasper's team avoided chaos by keeping both the old and new systems running during the transition. That overlap meant 0 disruptions for their customers. Communication stayed clear and nobody noticed the back-end changes. If you're switching tools, take your time, build an overlap, and make sure your migration plan is rock solid. Don't just quickly move to new tools. Have a step-by-step plan, have a project manager manage this plan, or you be the project manager manage this plan, or the best thing is having a software who can help you with this migration. And there's a lot of good softwares out there that can help you. And number 5 is, before you buy a tool, is check the vendor's reputation. Jasper dropped this pro tip that I thought was really smart, is Go to a vendor's conference before you buy. Why? Because it's the ultimate smell test. You could see, are they rolling out updates, investing in their product, building a strong community around their tool? If they're not, that's a red flag. A lot of products are acquired by big companies that are not putting investments into their tool. So go look if they're actually investing in the long term for this tool. And always ask your network. Social proof is the best way to buy a tool. That's how we do it as marketers right now. So other marketers are a gold mine for real unfiltered reviews on products. Our community Marketland membership, people talk about this all the time, what tools they use. So just trust your community, trust your friends. They are using the tool. They'll give you unfiltered advice on what tool is the best. So let me recap the 5 tips I got from Jasper. 1, market the tool internally before you implement it. So before you buy a tool, market it internally. 2, when you're buying a tool, don't get sold on buzzwords. Ask hard questions. We can get enamored by the cool features, but ask, does this actually solve an internal problem or help hit a KPI that we're trying to hit? 3, when you're implementing a tech stack, make sure all your data flows into a single source of truth. 4, when you're migrating softwares, plan for an overlap. Don't just quickly move over. Plan for an overlap of the migration. And 5, you have to test the vendor's reputation, do the smell test, go to a conference, go to their conference. You can see if they're investing in their tool. Tools can transform your marketing team, but they also can drain your budget and your patience. So Jasper's advice is a cheat code for getting this right. We also did a podcast. You can go find it. It's longer on how he thinks about migrating new tools or buying new tools. But these are my 5 takeaways from my conversation with him. Thank you for listening. Until next episode, have the best day.
Thanks so much for listening. Keep tuning in to hear more great insights from the coolest marketers from around the world. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and follow the Marketing Millennials podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you like what you hear, I would greatly appreciate you giving us a 5-star rating. It helps bring more marketers into our community.